Video contains minor spoilers.
Hi.
Oh dear. Another KVN.
Harmonia. 届けたいその全てを歌に乗せて明日へと。
Alright, if you have read Planetarian, which is another key visual novel, it's pretty similar. A dystopic world, it involves robots, humanity's fight. But instead of playing as a human scavenger that found an adorable robot, you play as Ray, a Fearoid, which is the robot term in this universe, that woke up from an abandoned facility and got found by a nun. A nun! I love nun characters in anime, such as Edda and Sharon. God, I want to be between those thighs so bad. Hot and badass. Damn. Anyway, Ray hangs out with her after she saved his life, or being in that sense, because he wants to feel emotions, since he is an emotionless persona, as you would expect from a robot. Afterwards, she introduces him to the town where her church is located in, and then events will start to unfold from then and there. A hot dude, a cute nun, an adorable lolly, and a male tsundere. Why? The protagonist, despite being an emotionless character, does get quite adventurous and daring, backed up by his willfulness and selflessness to help others. Other than those facts, Ray is not a difficult character to analyze. In fact, he's quite simple. He simply wishes to experience emotions, a core element that makes us human, whether they're joy, sorrow, or anger. And how he plans to explore those emotions is through Shiona, the nun. Aside from the nuns that I'm used to, Shiona is more on the gentle side. The usual kind and caring character that is now responsible for the MC, since she's taking care of him, giving him shelter at the church, cooks for him, the usual stuff. Also, what the fuck is Poa Poa?
ポワポワって。
So I am confusion. Explain! Explain! What do you mean?
Anyway, this nun sings. Apparently, with a beautiful voice too, as backed up by the townsfolk and the protagonist. That's another reason why she's on good terms with everyone in the town. One example of a character whom she's on good terms with is Matt, a shop owner who sells junk that he scavenges and repairs. This guy falls under the bald shopkeeper trope already. There's one guy from SAO and the other one from Shield Hero. Besides that, he's a male tsundere. Let me repeat that. A male tsundere. I swear to God, he can make me cry for the wrong reasons. He's angry all the time. Even the little things can piss him off, causing him to get aggressive. This guy could be a follower of Angron. No wonder he's named Mad. Might as well just cut off one letter and you get his entire persona. A female tsundere is bad enough. What am I supposed to say about a male one? The reason why he's a tsundere is because he doesn't mean what he says. Even one point shows Shiona translating what he is actually saying.
まさか用もないのに来たわけじゃないだろうな。
せっかく来てくれたからゆっくり見ていってください。
おっと、お前ら絶対にその棚には近寄るんじゃねえぞ。いいな。
本日のおすすめは棚の中です。ご自由にご覧ください。
I'm fine.
We're not fine.
At least with the nun, he doesn't get as mad, and thus proving that he has a soft spot. Ergo, tsundere. Now we have talked about the mad dude, let's talk about the sad character. Tippy, the lolly tsundere. She's considered to be the librarian at the local library, and she's just so f***ing adorable. At one point, she even asked you to carry her because she couldn't reach a book on the shelf.
抱っこして。本が取れないから。ピピを抱っこして。
At the fact that she's sad and crying most of the time, it makes you want to just hug and protect her. Anyway, as the librarian, Tippy is always referred to whenever the MC wishes to search for a book, since she knows the library like the back of her hand because she legit lives there. And that's all for the main characters. As for the side characters, they're not voiced and they don't have sprites of their own, but they do have illustrations as shown in this CG. Speaking of CGs, let's get technical now. Here's the main menu page with a chill soundtrack. Load section with 10 pages that have 4 slots each. Config button to the settings page. Here is the system settings and the sound settings. Oh, for f***'s sake. Chapter button to pick where you would like to start from. Gallery for the CGs, which I will blur out due to spoiler reasons. And here's the music section. I appreciate the fact that they included the composer here. Thank you for your contribution, dear composer. Storytelling is in an NVL format with 2 layouts. One is covering the entire screen, overlapping the CG, while the other is like this, occupying only half to show the sprites. I love this style since I can look at Shiona more. Quite a clean UI, so you gotta right click to access the menu for whatever features that are missing. As for the English translation, I didn't find any typo or grammatical errors. Good job. By the way, I forgot to mention that this background in the main menu only appears after you've completed the VN. Hence, finish the VN quickly so you can look at the beautiful nun more often. It's not long anyway. Here, I'll show you my playtime. Around 4.7 hours or 4 hours and 42 minutes recorded, but take out around an hour from there because I AFK'd for around that long. So a little under 4 hours for my playtime, while VNDB's average is around 6. A kinetic visual novel, which means there are no choices to pick from. One single linear plot. Just make sure you have tissues with you. To drain your eyes, I mean, because it's key. It's gonna be a ride. A roller coaster of a ride. A mixture of emotions, that's for sure, which conveys the theme of the story. And the story itself is quite touching. It can get monotonous in the first half, but as the plot progresses into the second half, will you finally feel the impact? Especially at the orgasm phase, as it should be. There are a few elements, however, in the first half that are wholesome, like they restore your faith in humanity kind of thing. Speaking of humans, the VN does try to tackle on the fundamentals of human emotions by implementing said emotions into robots while extracting them from humans. A what-if scenario, basically. All this would also involve empathy, and a game that has similar themes to this is Detroit Become Human. Great game, you should play it. Coming back to Harmonia, the dystopic setting is explored through its world building, though it's slightly more on the telling rather than the showing. There were also several plot twists that occurred. Some were predictable, others were unexpected. What was also predictable is when the crying starts. Knowing key VNs, which are Nakige by nature, you expect to shed some tears, so you know what's coming. That's where execution comes in. It's like a typical shonen. You know for a fact that the protagonist will eventually defeat the villain or overcome some kind of hurdle. So you mainly look forward to the execution. Fortunately, Harmonia does this part very well, and it progresses into a beautiful ending. Speaking of which, I will get into the spoiler discussion now since we don't have the fun stuff here. So if you haven't read Harmonia, please skip to the next section. Alright, I want to start with Shiona. I love the twist that she acted cruel to TP in order to keep her alive, since TP's emotion is sadness, and if she doesn't have that, she malfunctions. To be honest, I did get pissed at Shiona for doing so, but after the truth was revealed, I was like, damn, she's kind to the core. Now on to the twists themselves. I did expect Shiona to be a Feroid, truth be told, but that's the only prediction I got correct. LOL. I didn't predict the entire f***ing town to be Feroids. Even TP, man. The cute lolly definitely reminded me of the child robot in Detroit Become Human. I also didn't expect the MC himself to be a human. Not gonna lie, that's pretty surprising. Given that the narrative basically shoves into your face, indirectly telling that he's a Feroid, the mechanical arm, him feeling emotions, and the like. Oh yeah, even if there were no fun stuff in this VN, this scene here, f***ing thank you, Key. My robot waifu has gorgeous boobs. On a side note, I want to address an issue here, and it involves the bullet hole. She was shot, she fell, and went unconscious. But how come the MC didn't pick that up? There should be a hole torn through the clothes, yet the protagonist didn't notice anything out of the ordinary when he inspected her. That's weird, isn't it? Maybe to add more impact to the revelation of the CG, but a plot convenience like that, I didn't like it. Another debatable part is the humans losing emotions. I do find it poetic to have the robots feeling emotions while the humans lack them. But to have a general society of humans without said emotions is kinda hard to believe. Pretty sure we would all be psychopaths at that point. Plus, it is human nature as a whole to experience love, if not any other emotion. Because essentially, that's what makes us human. You may not show it, but deep down, there will still be some lingering. You're not Robocop, man. Hell, even Robocop regained his emotions at some point afterwards. Anyway, if you want to discuss about the spoiler moments, please do so in my Discord rather than the comments down below. The things that I mainly don't like in this VN are pretty much mentioned in the spoiler discussion, so it's best that you guys go read Harmonia ASAP if you want to know about them. Still, I do want to mention a bit of annoyance, and that was so similar to Hoshino. So goddamn similar. To be fair, I understand why though, due to her nature. But I did get irritated at some points, really. Another thing I want to point out is the music, because normally they're kind of lively and heartwarming, so they make you forget that this is a dystopic setting. Maybe it's intentional, something like there's still hope in a grim situation or whatever. Regardless, this gets us to the good stuff. The music, despite me saying it feels off, is beautiful. For a relatively cheap VN like this, to have these very good OSTs included feels too good to be true. But it is true, and I appreciate it, devs. Really adds to the immersion. What also contributes to that aspect is the visuals. For a short VN, they're amazing. Background dust moving here, and then you have shots like these that really show the dull and eerie setting. Alright then, let's wrap it up. All in all, I would say Harmonia is a good VN, even to the point that it can be your first visual novel. Though you would get f***ing sad after finishing, but that's the specialty of key VNs anyway. If I were to admit, I'll say that I did cry a bunch near the ending. I knew what was gonna happen, yet my tears fell anyway. So yeah, Harmonia's Degen score is an 8. Hope you guys can like and subscribe if the content is degenerate enough. And if you guys wanna support me further, please do consider joining my Patreon linked down below. Later, gents.